Can you freaking believe it? I can't. I can't believe it. Hello, my cute and creepy friends. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am emotional. It's the new house. As you know, if you've been following the journey, we started looking at houses over a year ago and we got one. This isn't just some random stranger that I broke into their house and asked them, please let me record in your house for my Halloween decorating video. This is the house, and look at the fireplace. So we have a whole new canvas to work with. We have 3 giant windows in front of me that you can't see that just pours in the natural light, and we love natural light here. I can't believe it's already the end of August, and that means it's time to break out the bins, get that Halloween decor out. I've been seeing it all over social. People are decorating. It is time. And so this year is going to be a little different. Instead of pulling out the bins and just kind of like seeing what I have and trying to fit a theme with that, I really wanted to do a lot of crafting, which I'm kind of annoyed with myself because that's so much more work, but here we are. And as you remember, I was hunting for this stupid wicker spider that I never found. It's fine because it wasn't really going to fit exactly what I was wanting to do. And this year's theme is Spider's Den. So it's gonna be a creepy crawly situation in here. So first of all, what we wanna do is have a giant mama spider in this top corner here. She's gonna have a bunch of webs under her, and then all of her little children's are gonna be crawling all over the walls and on the fireplace, etc. And at first I was like, yeah, spiders everywhere, spider themed stuff, webs, cool. But then Colton was talking to me about it and he was like, what if you tried to tell a story? And I was like, I love storytelling. Instead of just covering the room in spiders, we're going to have the babies coming from that top corner down and coming out of the fireplace. It's going to be like a room that a wizard was holed up in here doing all sorts of spells, all sorts of little things. There's going to be books everywhere. There's going to be little bottles with potions in them. We're going to have candles lining this fireplace. There's going to be boards covering the fireplace as if someone was trying to quickly, keep this infestation from taking over. We're going to have a celebrity guest appearance, Nicholas Ribcage. He's very excited. He's going to be sitting in the corner of the fireplace as someone that was trying to ward off these monsters, but he was not successful. So that's the scene that we're doing. And if we have time, I would love to also, behind the boards, have like it darkened out with like some spooky cloth and then have like little red beady eyes. We're gonna see the logistics of that. But anyway, that is the scene. That is the scene that we're doing. The only traditional thing that we're gonna be doing is the ghost shelf. That's just gonna be every year. I love ghosts. I collect them. Regardless of my theme, every Halloween, we're gonna have a ghost shelf. Sorry if you don't like it. I really hope that you guys love what I end up doing. It's gonna be a decent amount of work, but we love it. We love the Halloween stress. I think the first thing that we need to tackle is the candles, because I want these candles covering this fireplace We need to go get a bunch of pool noodles, get some hot glue going, and create this little spider's den. First things first, we're gonna buy a bunch of pool noodles. Then we're gonna measure the fireplace and cut the noodles into the best sizes that fit the space well. I'm gonna add an angled slope top to these candles just to make them a little bit more natural looking, like they've been melting for a bit. Now, as you notice, the tea light doesn't fit into the noodle, so we're going to have to cut out some of the meat of the noodle, and you're gonna do that carefully because this is a little dangerous. Perfect. Now we're gonna just arrange the noodles back on top of the fireplace and get an idea of the arrangement of the noodles before we glue them together. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know if liquid nails is 100% necessary for these noodles. I feel like you could also probably use hot glue, but they did do a great job, and I just kind of line these up and glue them together. And for the bunches like this one, I'm going to use zip ties and tighten those nice and tightly and let them cure overnight. While those are drying, I went to Dollar Tree and grabbed a crap ton of tea lights because that's where they are the cheapest. And unfortunately, they didn't have black, so we had to paint these bad boys. It's fine. I watched Vampire Diaries while I did it. This guy is ready to be freed from its zip tie, and it's perfectly together. Now it's time to do that wax detail. And this we are going to use a glue gun for. You're just going to go around the rim of this noodle and just squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until it just naturally drips down the noodle. There was a point where the glue was so hot, it did actually kind of start to melt the noodle, but I think that actually made it look more natural and added a fun effect. I would wear a mask and have some ventilation for this because it is burning plastic. But look at that. Doesn't that look great? I love it. I love how it turned out. Now that we have all of our noodles all done, it's time to paint these. And before we get our nails dirty, we're gonna put on some gloves and of course wear a mask. This took forever. If any of you guys have any tips on what paint to use for pool noodles, or maybe I won't even use noodles next time because these suckers absorbed so much paint. So they needed like 50 coats. It took forever. It was very grueling, but I think that they turned out pretty well. So now that the candles are outside, airing out, drying, all that stuff, we are going to move on to customizing a couple of items that I have gotten at Savers for the whole project. I think I know what I want to do, but we're gonna figure it out. So, to the table. Oh, shit. But wait, there's more. So everything here isn't just from Savers. I also reached out to you guys and asked you on the community tab where I could get some like old looking books, and you guys came through for me. I got all of these old looking books at a used bookstore, and just look at those spines. Look at them. I was hoping that they would be like $1. They weren't, but that's fine. They were still like reasonably priced. All of these little itty bitty teeny little bottles I did get on Amazon. The larger ones I got at Savers, as well as this very fun globe. He was only $10, and I loved that he just fit the whole dark academia vibe that I was going for. Essentially, I want to make these look old. The globe, I think, is good to go, but the bottles really need to be roughed up. I think I want to add a layer of Mod Podge to the outside of the glass to make it look like really foggy. But beyond that, I want to see if I can add a color to these guys. So I've looked up a couple of things, but I'm going to see if I can do something with acrylic paint. I saw a tutorial about like putting them in the oven, getting like some dyes and like putting them in the oven, and that's like totally the legit way to do it. I want to see if there's something I can do with just acrylic paint. We're on a time schedule, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of research, see what I can find, and then I think I'll just find some random little things at like the Dollar Tree, or maybe I can craft a couple of things to fill these with. So we're gonna do a lot of random fun things for these jars. The books are pretty good to go. I think there's only a couple of these that I want to actually rough up the pages because it's too white. This is one of them, this green one. So I'm going to coffee stain the pages on this one. The other ones, they're looking pretty worn. They're looking pretty brown. So I don't think I need to do much. But before Sarah could do any of that, she wanted to research if she can just paint these bottles with acrylic paint and have them look good. And the answer was no. So because of that, I'm just gonna have to do this oven, Mod Podge, food coloring situation. I just didn't want to take the time to do it, but it's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour Mod Podge into 4 different cups, however many colors you wanna do. And then you're gonna figure out what colors you're gonna do by mixing all different kinds of colors. Maybe you should have studied color theory, Sarah, but anyway. And then you're gonna pour them in the bottles, swish that around nice and evenly all the way up to the stem, and then gently pour it back into that cup and repeat the process until you feel like it has a good enough coating. Once those are all poured in and coated, you're gonna leave them upside down on some parchment paper just to get those last little drops out. The brown was the one I wanted the most, and oh my gosh, it was so difficult to achieve. No. Why? For some reason, I kept getting blue, but I finally got it with Colton's help, and this was my favorite color. I just love that robust brown. Definitely Google color mixing with food coloring because it's actually different than how you would with paint. Once I feel that my jars are good to go, I'm going to turn them right side up and put them in the oven at 170 degrees for 40-ish minutes. While those are in the oven, I'm going to quickly brew some extra dark coffee and get to staining the pages of my books. I loved just kind of messily painting these books. I didn't care at all if it looked even. I honestly wanted it to look like this wizard spilt a bunch of liquid on his books.
Tomorrow for sure.
It is the next morning. I was up till 3 a.m. doing all of those little bottles, but I'm looking at them right now and oh my God, they're perfect. Oh my God, I'm so excited. They turned out so amazing. Even though the brown took me forever. Colton ended up having to help me because I was like, what gets brown? I mean, you saw. And it's different with food coloring. I love how these turned out. Are they messy and like imperfect? Yes, absolutely. I rushed the process completely, but I think it's fine. I actually am really happy with the imperfections. It makes it look like a messy, like this wizard or whoever this person was that is in their lab, they're not caring about cleanliness or anything. They're just like, these are their potion bottles and they're just like throwing things in and out. So yeah, I love it. These are great. Now that these bad boys are done, we're gonna just fill them with random little bits and bobs. I'm so excited how these turned out, and let's get to finishing up the details. So the books are drying outside. The bottles I decided I can finish tomorrow because that's gonna take it's gonna be very quick. What I am itching to get done is the webs because that is so tedious. I want it to look really cool. So let's get started. And I thought we could commemorate the occasion with the cauldron candle. She has a little bit of life left in her. It's not a lot. So we might not get much of a scent from her, but I want to try. And honestly, the other thing was I couldn't find any of my other candles. They're in bins. Let's see if she's gonna do it. Yeah. And now I just have to put on something while we decorate. I'm feeling Twilight. You guys good with Twilight? Good. You don't get an opinion. Okay, I'm gonna start in this corner over here because that's like where the main part of the web is like coming from, and that's where Mama Spider is gonna be. All right. Hi, honey. She like really wants to be involved in Halloween decorating this year. I was planning on using these little putty things for the webs, and they had treadmill lubricant all over them. So that's fun. It has lubricant all over it. Who are those 30-year-olds? I think this length should be good. This looks like it should probably reach from the corner to the shelf. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys, there is already a spider up here. Oh, he's like, I'm part of the theme. And then you guys would be proud. I did look at your suggestions for adhesives, and I will be using the little putty circles for the spiders.
You have a date to...
How you liking the rain, girl? So now that the movie is over and we have a decent amount, I'm being hard on myself. There's a decent amount that's up, but I really wish I was a lot further than I was. So I think I'm just gonna record when I have made like big monumental changes to the webs. It's just taking a long time. It's like 20 times worse than the spooky cloth. So gotta keep at it. Okay, friends, so I ended up taking, there was a hook up here that I had, so the web went like and I hated it. I was like, you know what, I don't like that. So I took that off, so now it droops more, and then I just added some more webs to like really make it pop. I'm gonna fix that little part right there because it kind of is sagging. But yeah, I have it going behind the TV. So I think I have a decent amount of web going on, and I want to mix it up now and add some little spiders. So I have this, and it's a very high chance that it won't do anything, but we're gonna try. We're gonna see if this like sticks to the spider and to here. And if not, Colton said that I can just hot glue. I'm gonna put a decent amount on each spider in hopes that that will help somehow. And we want them crawling out of the fireplace, like going up like this. Let's start right here. And of course, it might stick right now, and then I'll wake up and I'll have like 50 spiders on the floor. The bottles have long since dried. In between that time, I have gone to the doll hair tree and I got a lot of goodies. Sponsored by Dollar Tree. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill these bottles with little trinkets.
For my trinkets.
I got bones, these fun decorative rocks, little fake mushrooms, moss, and some rocks. Some more like pink rocks that kind of look like gems almost. Some of them I might just fill them with like food coloring liquid to look like a potion. These don't have to be full, you know, it's this lab study room that he was working in. So of course they're not going to all be like full and pristine and stuff. Some of them will probably be empty. Once these are all full of their items, we're going to use some glue and kind of smother the glass with the glue and smother the glass with the glue, and that's going to give it like an aged, foggy look. Let's get to filling. Oh my gosh, it's finally spider time. We're gonna use a beach ball and just another ball of mystery. It's just like a bunch of trash and random things. And we're gonna tape those two together using some tape. And then we're going to use some paper strips and some paste and do some old-fashioned paper mache. I haven't done this since like forever, and it's a very relaxing craft. I definitely recommend, but it's very messy. Once I feel like I have enough layers covering that beach ball, we're gonna let this guy dry overnight. And unlike my pumpkin paper pulp guy, it actually does dry overnight. Look at that, completely solid, no dampness. And so now we can move on to the legs. And these are just gonna be made out of cut up pool noodles. I cut them into really thin strips and then cut them at the angles I wanted, taped those together, and then glued those under the body of the spider. And bada bing, bada boom, we got a spider. For the face, I just dipped back into my paper clay and did some cute 4 rounded eyes and some very simple fangs. And once we feel like that face is completely dry, we're gonna paint her completely and lose a couple of limbs in the process, but that's fine. We can easily glue those back together.
A little later.
Do you guys think that I should adjust the lighting? What if I was just this white?
The skin of a killer.
There we go. Everything is pretty much good to go. The bottles have been made. The books are stained. We just have to set up that scene with the skeleton and the boards, and hopefully we can pull off the little creepy eyes peeking through. We only have really one more step to do, and that's just kind of bringing that scene in the front of the fireplace together. So I'm so excited. Let's do this. Let's pull this together and show you the final reveal after this. The last thing I had to do was just set up this fireplace scene. I took one of my skirts and just covered a piece of cardboard and just kind of stuffed it in the fireplace like that. Once we put the boards on, I was able to see where I would put those glowing eyes and stick them through that cardboard. After I have the eyes in, I just kind of stuck the rest of the bulbs in the fireplace and tucked the remaining skirt over the cardboard and then spooky cloth over top to conceal everything. Then I put my skeleton into place, added some more details, and now it is time for the reveal. This video took so long. A lot of love and help and thought went into this video. And I really wanted to make sure that I one-upped myself from last year. And I feel like I did. I feel like this is such a step up from just going into the basement. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I think you're smart if you just use your decorations. I think it's exhausting constantly crafting new things, but this was still, it was so much fun. I'm very proud of myself, very thankful to Colton and all the help that he did. And I just think it's so fun. This is exactly what I envisioned in my head. I think if I were to make anything different, it would just be more webs. But beyond that, I think it came out great. I hope this Halloween season is treating you well. I hope that your decorations are going great. And whatever you do, obviously, it's all about just having fun. It has nothing to do with how spectacular it looks. If you're having fun, that's the most important thing. So I had fun. I hope you had fun watching this video. Thank you so much for being patient with how long this took. And I will be choosing a winner of the giveaway, and not only just that bat, but I will sneak in a couple of other goodies in that box for you. So I will be choosing the winner for that when this video goes up. We're gonna have lots of fun crafting some Halloween things. I think the only other shopping I'll do is maybe Target. We'll see. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if it's worth it. I've seen mixed reviews. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment what you are doing for your theme for Halloween this year. I would love to hear it. I love all of your guys' ideas. They're so fun, and I love you all, my cute and creepy friends, and I will see you in my next video. You guys, there are so many candles up there that you have to take out individually. There's 50. There's like over 50. I counted. And you have to take them out individually, and you got to turn them on.